Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we have 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Brian, and joining me today is my good friend, Slothy. We just had the great experience to hang out with Daniel on his special day.
Yeah, it was really nice day, very beautiful.
That arboretum, if you had allergies to pollen and everything, death trap, but for those who are able to stand it, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely, and everything's went incredibly well.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for both him and Kaylin.
Congratulations to both of them from us. And we do apologize. This episode is going to be a day late. We did try to actually be responsible adults and record an episode in time or ahead of time, but something happened with the data. We should be able to get that episode back and have that up for you in the near future. But today, me and Slothy are coming at you with Sauron, the White Hand. I call this my Orcs Lives Matter decks. I originally had it called Saruman, Orcish Army. And I just thought out of the pre-con that I picked up, he was just the better face commander out of the deck.
Fair. That was the Sauron pre-con.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he was the one that gives you the actual, he's the one with the ward creature. I believe he's in my list. But just to give the listeners and everyone here the rundown, so Saruman the White Hand is a colorless blue, black, red legendary creature, avatar wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass Orcs X, where X is that spell's mana value. Also, he gives goblins and orcs you control have ward 2, and he is a 2/5.
Nice.
He's got a big booty for an old man.
Yeah.
He's doing his squats.
Definitely. Well, I mean, Sir Christopher Lee certainly did a fair amount of exercise.
Oh, 100%. Lovely. Great actor. Great actor.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can probably tell, so I originally had an Ovika deck. And Ovika, I believe the upside to Ovika is the amount of goblins that you are able to generate, which then can generate into other things, such as the sacrifice altars, which then goes into infinite combos and so on and so forth. What I like about Saruman here is, as long as a single army's out, you're not making a whole bunch of tokens, you're only increasing a single token.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more of a go tall than go wide strategy.
Exactly. So I enjoy it that way, that it really removes some of that versatility. And for me, I enjoy building the theme, or I just enjoy building in a fun way that's not going to be going infinite or be just not fun to other players or myself. I'm very token fun guy. Let's go. Yeah. I was contemplating putting Ovika in the 99.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I mean, the Ward 2 is definitely a big bonus if you were to go more of a wide strategy as well, but
100%.
Like that you stayed on theme.
And what I like is that, I wanted to comment on it on some of the other cards, and I'll call them out as we go through, but I enjoy that they didn't narrow it down to just orcs. Yeah, I do, because I think that would be very set specific. I think there's only another handful of orcs throughout the other, or there's probably some, but they don't synergize.
Yeah, so that's fair.
I do enjoy that they grouped goblins into that.
Yeah, no, that's really, really nice. And I think, and I could be wrong, weren't the orcs in the books just called goblins? Or were there orcs as well?
I will give you a little bit of feedback into my personal life. I don't read. We're lucky we play this card game.
Yeah,
School was not my favorite thing.
you must have hated coming back, and now there's like 3 paragraphs in the free card.
Right? Yeah. It's this is where I learned my English language from. They should really put school into card games. It'd probably go so much better.
Yep. But yeah, where do you want to jump in first here?
Let's take a look here. So let's start off. We'll actually just go from, so I built mine on Moxfield. We'll just go from the top down. So we'll go through creatures, sorceries, instants, because this deck list is very artifact and enchantment heavy.
Okay, sweet.
So, yeah, lead us in there.
Sure. First one we got here is Anger, 3 in a red for a 2/2 incarnation with haste. And as long as it is in your graveyard and you control a mountain, creatures you control have haste.
This is amazing art for it.
Yeah. Was that one in the precon as well?
I believe so, yeah. Because
Nice,
I based this off of the precon. So a majority of the cards will have, or if they're not on the list as Lord of the Rings one, they should be.
Okay. Neat.
And this one was actually in the precon, which I think it went as high as $40. We have Cavern Horde Dragon, 7 and 2 red. This spell costs spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts an opponent controls. Flying, trample, and haste. Whenever Cavern Horde Dragon deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls.
Nice. I feel like this one can very often come down at 2 or 3 mana, just with the amount of treasures and foods everyone's making right now.
Yeah. I didn't even think about the food and everything, but like we play, or in my other pods outside of the group, it's slower mana, so with a lot of mana rocks. So there's at least 3 or 4 mana rocks on the field at least at times. So I should at least be able to get 4 or drop it for, like 5 at most. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of reduction is always very nice.
Mm-hmm. But being able to have it come in, so even if I pay the 5, it comes in, I hit someone for their 4 treasures or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 more treasures, and then I would hope that I would have something that's 4 CMC or less in my hand.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just a nice way to keep your turn going, or being able to benefit.
Yeah, definitely that second main phase jump.
Mm-hmm.
Next one we've got up is Corsairs of Umbar, 3 in a blue for a 3/3 human pirate. It's funny to me that these 3 human pirates have more power and toughness than Anger.
a huge like mountain crawling incarnate.
Yeah. But the Corsairs can pay 2 in a blue to have target goblin, orc, or pirate can't be blocked this turn, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, amass orcs 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just want to make a big guy. That's all we're doing here.
Yeah, one big guy.
Not game broken at all.
No, on the slightest.
And so this is one of them that I wanted to call out is Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant. 3 in a black. Whoops. Legendary creature, human soldier. When Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant enters the battlefield, amass orcs 1. Creature tokens you control have death touch. Again, it doesn't specify orcs or anything along those lines, so that's where I was like, it's just a good all-around token lord.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, even if you're not playing orcs, that's still an amazing ability to have.
Everyone fears death touch.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I haven't seen this art for this next one, but it is awesome and I love it. It's got 2 in a red for a 2/2 goblin shaman. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, deals 2 damage to each opponent. I really, really like that artwork.
I'm just taking some things. Then we have Merciless Executioner, 2 and a black orc warrior. When Merciless Executioner enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. 3/1. That's all. Hey, I want to make sure I'm getting my big orc through. I got to get the army through the pass. Let's go.
Would you be able to read the flavor text on that?
Curse the seal doors. Ugluk? Pardon? Ugluk, you Bagronk, Push Dog, Saruman, Glob, Bushka, Sky?
Nice.
Try my best, I promise you. I told you I'm not good at reading.
Next one we've got is the Orcish Siege Master, 2 and a red for a 0/5 Orc Soldier with Trample. Other orcs and goblins you control have Trample, and whenever Orcish Siege Master attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control.
Again, it's not just a orc, it's orcs and goblins, which I love. That's just not a singular. I don't even know if there's a reprint, but if it is, I'm dumb and I haven't seen it before. So moving along.
This is not, it's not a reprint, no.
Okay, awesome then. And here, I believe, is one of the other alt commanders that you get from the precon. It's Sauron, Lord of the Rings. 5, a blue, black, red. Legendary creature, Avatar Horror. When you cast the spell, amass orcs 5, mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, which is awesome. Trample, whenever a commander an opponent controls dies, the ring tempts you.
Nice.
I have to say, the ring tempting thing, it sounds like it should actually be like a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it gives you benefits.
Yeah, it feels like that's kind of one of the flavor fails.
Yeah.
Because
a little bit, right?
Frodo was not having a good time when the ring was tempting him.
No, that's what basically is going to lead to killing you. Is it's gonna put you into some bad places, 100%.
Yeah.
Please take the next one. I think this is the actual commander.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Sauron the Dark Lord, 3 blue, black, red for a 7/6 legendary Avatar Horror. It's got Ward, sacrifice legendary artifact or legendary creature, which is insane.
That's gross.
Pairs very well with the Lord of the Rings, Sauron. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you, and whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand, and if you do, draw 4 cards.
Right? So as long as if the ring does tempt us, excellent. It's just gonna give us more cards.
Yeah, that's... Oh, and that's a May ability too, which I like.
Yeah, so if you have no cards, you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna discard my hand.
Yeah.
Just draw 4.
Nice.
And then we have the Mouth of Sauron. 3, a black and a blue for a legendary creature, Human Advisor. When the Mouth of Sauron enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards. Then amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard. If you're playing against someone that's a slinger, excellent. Let's go. Let's make me a big beater here.
Yeah, I've been thinking about putting together, because of the new reprint, putting together a Talrand deck with very few creatures, and this would not be fun to play against.
Well, you'd at least have blockers, but if that orc gets trampled...
All the instant and sorceries in the graveyard.
Well, someone's going to get a big creature, but you're going to have blockers, but you're going to have to attempt to stop him or prevent them from getting trampled.
Yeah, true.
That would be your main scary point.
Yeah. Another artwork that I absolutely love is this Treasure Nabber. 2 and a red for a 3/2 Goblin Rogue. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn.
I think I forgot to mention that the Mouth of Sauron's a 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone did mention, like I saw someone commenting that Treasure Nabber needed a reprint. But then because they were talking about the new Commander Master set that's coming out.
Yeah.
But I was like, they just reprinted it here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then finishing out the creature section, so that's a grand total of 12 creatures. We have the Witch King of Angmar. 2 black legendary creatures, Wraith Noble, flying. When one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt combat damage to you this turn. The ring tempts you. Discard a card. Witch King of Angmar gains indestructible until end of turn, and tap it.
Nice.
And it's a 5/3.
There were a lot of legendary creatures in this set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Witch King is awesome, especially if you've got, like you're able to get out a big orc and enough like blockers that you can just let one creature hit you. Sure, you might be taking the most amount of damage you could, but they're gonna have to sacrifice it.
Yep.
And you can kind of play that politically too.
Yeah, like, well, if they hit me, they're going to have to sacrifice one that dealt damage to me. So, like, they're going to have to either A, swing wide, so I don't just choose that one creature,
exactly.
or they're going to have to be kind of delicate about the situation.
Yeah.
Pretty neat art. I did enjoy actually pulling him.
Oh, you actually pulled this one?
Yeah.
Nice.
I enjoy I know the character from, again, it's not how to be the movies, due to not reading the books, but I really enjoyed just how they portrayed him. And just the fear that he invoked into the world.
Yeah, definitely.
So kick off our sorcery section here. We got 15 as it should be. Like, this is a big difference in my deck building due to I play a lot of creature heavy decks, so kind of switching it up this route, it's a little bit different for me. But I play this probably a handful of times, or a little bit less maybe, and I've really enjoyed it so far. It's just been fun.
Nice. Well, just looking through the creature section, I'm excited to play against it one day.
Right?
It looks fun. But the first card in the sorcery section does not look fun. My token-loving self hates you, but it's Blasphemous Act, 8 and a red. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and deals 13 damage to each creature.
It's needed sometimes.
Yeah. This is very good in this deck. With all your amassing orcs, it's probably going to be above 13.
Like, I've had 28, I've had up to 30 so far. So it is able to get up there. So 13 damage to me is not a big deal if I can clear the board and then get this guy, and then get my orc in. But I definitely misplayed it, torched myself, and then everybody else rebuilt but me. So, and I was technically in the lead, but I thought I was being cheeky.
Fair.
It was not a good time for me.
No.
The next one that we have here is Extract from Darkness, 3 blue and a black. Sorcery. Each player mills 2 cards, then you put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
Nice.
Doesn't say from the ones that are milled, so that's good. So even if you already kind of have a creature in mind, you're good to go.
Yeah. The mill's just kind of an extra look. Then you've got Faithless Looting. Red, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. It's got flashback for 2 and a red.
A lot of times I had it where I didn't have cards. So being able to, or actually, I'll be honest, Sherman is my great friend. He was a previous host, and the way that he's able to manipulate the top of his deck is something that I've never been able to master. And I'm a little bit jealous, so I was like, I'm going to try. We'll see if I can do this.
Fair.
We do.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry?
Yeah, it was nice to actually meet him yesterday, because I haven't met him in person yet.
Oh, no?
No, not till yesterday.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
He is, yeah.
And the next card is one of our new ones. It's Fear Fire Foes. X and a red. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Fewer fire foes deal X damage to target creature and 1 damage to each other creature with the same controller.
Nice. I like this one.
Potentially, it can take care of some tokens and stuff like that. So, I can at least get rid of one big guy.
Yeah. Then the damage can't be prevented this turn's kind of scary.
Right? Well, it definitely helps with some, like Eddie plays some, or what is it, the fox 8.5 tails or 9.5 tails, whatever it is. So he plays like cards like that, and it's this Pillow Fort deck. So this is a card that I can use to typically get around his little loophole.
Yeah, definitely. Then we've got Feed the Swarm, 1 and a black, destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value.
I'm really happy that they reprinted that in the set, and I think I saw that it's getting reprinted in the Commander Master set too.
Okay.
So I like, because I think I only had 2 of them before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I definitely have to pick up some more because I'm finding myself playing more black now a little bit, but we'll get there.
Yeah, fair. The fact that it hits enchantments is
Black needed it.
Relevant.
Black really needed it because it really didn't have any answers. So it got 1. It needs a few more.
Yeah. Just play a bunch of Feed the Swarms in your deck and hope no one notices.
What? Isochronic Scepter?
Yeah, that you can do that too if you want to do the legal route.
Right. This is my Feed the Swarm deck. The next card here is one of the newer cards too. It's Foray of the Orcs. I actually have the full art version of this, but it's 3 and a red. A Mass Orcs Mass Orcs 2. When you do, Foray of Orcs deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the amassed army's power.
Nice. That's a good one.
I can get rid of your big guy with not actually having to sacrifice my big guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, like there's some really good synergistic cards that came in the set and through the pre-con, so I wanted to keep a lot of those in to attempt to just keep the feel of the story and everything. I like themes.
Yeah, it's fun to build around themes. Next up, we've got Into the Fire. 2 in a red, you can choose 1. Into the Fire deals 2 damage to each creature, planeswalker, in battle. Or put any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of your library and then draw that many +1.
Again, trying to search to either A, find answers, or better cards.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Again, it comes down to being situational. I might have a really big guy, but I'm not able to get through. So looking for those lands that will let you get through, or the guy that's going to get my Orcs Trample, or there's a few different answers as we saw, and we'll still see. So it's just trying to find what you exactly need for that point in time.
Fair enough.
And to help again get us through, because we're going to have a bigger creature, we have Languish, 2 and 2 black. All creatures get -4/-4.
Yeah, fair.
I don't run board wipe, so it's really weird for me playing these cards.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's just really super weird. I kind of feel dirty a little bit.
Understandably so. Next up, we've got Lidless Gaze. 2 black and red. Exile the top card of each player's library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them. And it has flashback for 2 black and red.
If we can get even something off with it, like if we top draw this, have no cards in hand, we have all the mana in the world that we need, and we're able to then just get more spells off, because we care for just non-creature spells.
Yeah.
Plus, I thought the art was really cool. Frodo cowering and then that big eye in the back.
Yeah, I like the art on this one.
Living Death, 3 and 2 black. This one looks cool with the wraiths kind of forming in the background, or maybe some sort of ghoulies. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all creatures they control. Then put all cards they exiled this way onto the battlefield.
That's neat.
I've done it a handful of times, and if like all of my good creatures are in my grave, I'm gonna have to have some sort of way to bring them back.
Yeah, fair enough. Then we've got Mordor Muster. 1 and a black, draw a card, lose life, and amass orcs 1. Solid all around.
Right. Then we got Reanimate, like I mentioned, some really key creatures. So if I need to get it back for any sort of reason, we have a Reanimate, which is a black. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value.
Yeah. Yeah, that could also really help getting some of those ETBs
off again.
Guys bigger.
Yeah, like the Saruman, like the Mass Orcs 5.
Yeah. That one wouldn't go because that's a cast trigger.
Oh, okay.
But the Mouth of Sauron would.
Ooh, yes, that one would be even better then. Or yeah, that one it's even better. Period.
Yeah. Even better than 0.
Yep.
Next one we've got is Sam's Desperate Rescue. Black, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and the ring tempts you.
Again, I need people.
Like the little goblin guy running in fear.
They sure look goofy. They sure look goofy in the art when like the movie had them, so like I would not want to mess around with them.
No, fair.
I thought this one was really cool, and I really enjoyed the art on the storm over the mountains. We have Shadow of the Enemy, 3 black. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them.
Nice.
Why run creatures when I can use your creatures?
Exactly. You're really only running 12 creatures in your deck. However. And the final sorcery we've got here is Summons of Saruman. X, blue and a red, amass orcs X, mill X cards. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value X from among them, or X or less from among them without paying its mana cost. And it's got flashback for 3 blue red and exile X cards from your graveyard.
It's a mighty hefty flashback cost.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But hey, we need just the last couple orcs.
Yeah.
Or the mass trigger, I should say, to really kind of get that killing blow in. If we're down to like a 1v1, then that's totally worth it in my mind. But I hate exiling my graveyard or cards from a graveyard, because that in my mind just, they're gone. I'm not getting them back.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. I really like the art on that one too.
Right? I think if I saw it foil, it'd be even more amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't believe I have it foil. The first instant we have out of 5 is Arcane Denial. Really cool art for the command, or for the Lord of the Rings set here, just Saruman or Sauron, deflecting something. So it's 1 and a blue, counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep.
Classic.
Right? Again, I rarely use them, but let's try it out.
Fair. Then we've got Chaos Warp, 2 and a red. Owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent, they put it on the battlefield.
I just love that card. I love seeing it flip, and it's the same card you just got rid of.
I don't think that's ever happened to me before, but...
Oh, no? It's happened like 2 or 3 times in my games.
Fair.
Then we have, again, Fact or Fiction. 3 and a blue. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and opponent, then separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand and the other pile into your graveyard.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like the people in the art's having a good time.
Not really, no. Speaking of not having a good time, got a nasty end. 1 and a black. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards, and if the sacked creature was legendary, draw 3 instead.
Yeah, not a good time. So, with us being in blue, red, black, there's no real ramp.
True, yeah.
But we're also not being penalized. We're actually being we're getting benefits from playing a lot of mana rocks.
Yeah.
Because then again, that's just more a mass for us. Or just able to get out. Because you know that our commander is going to be a target. So we might really have to pay for our commander a few times. So I like the bulk, I'm going to say, of my artifacts is going to be a whole lot of mana rocks.
That's understandable.
I just feel it's needed. And again, starting us off is a staple. Arcane Signet. And I absolutely love the one from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The Ring Sigil. I really enjoy that. And do you know what? I think we should still be signing letters like this. I would love to be able to put a stamp with my little seal on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna start doing it. No more emails. You're only getting letters from me from now on. Actually, no, that's just a bad idea. Again, I don't like reading.
Well, see, in that case, you just have to hire someone to read them for you. Just go full medieval noble with it.
Right? I was born at the wrong time. Knowing my luck, I'd be the one reading the scribe.
Oh. Next up, we've got Commander Sphere. 3 mana. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Sack it, draw a card.
Again, amazing art for the set. They did a great job with all these.
Yeah, I really like how they did kind of the same thing they did with the Warhammer ones and made every single card a new art.
Yep.
Very nice touch.
In all honesty, it helped me with the immersion.
Fair.
It really helped me there instead of just having a reprint of our previous art. Because again, like in Lord of the Rings, I'm going to assume they have lots of different mythical artifacts or relics, things like that.
Oh, tons, yeah.
And as we saw, first 2 mana rocks. Third one, Dimir Cluestone, 3 colorless. Tap, add 1 blue or a black to your mana pool. Blue and a black and tap, sacrifice Dimir Cluestone, draw a card.
Yeah.
Just going to help us later on in the late game too. If we need that card draw to try to finish it off, we have outlets.
Yeah. Then we've got Dimir Key Rune. 3 mana, tap to add blue or black. Pay blue-black. It becomes a 2/2 blue and black horror artifact creature that has unblockable until end of turn.
We're getting through.
Yeah.
We're going to get through. We have a couple different ways. And then to really round off the Dimir, we get Dimir Locket, right? We're just blinged out here. We're fully repping Dimir. 3 colorless, tap to add 1 blue or a black to your mana pool, but we have 4 hybrid blue-black. Tap it to sacrifice the locket, draw 2 cards. Just like the Cluestone, but double the fun.
Double the fun, yeah.
And I just added this card in today, because I thought it would be great.
This next one here?
Yeah, please tell us what it is.
Yeah, we got Girper Orrery. 4 mana, each player may play an additional land on each of his or her turns. Nice group hug. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that If that player has no cards in hand, that player draws 3 cards.
Again, in my couple test plays, I found that I had either no cards in hand or only 1 or 2. But if I was able to, say, just play that last card and be rewarded at the beginning of my next upkeep to draw 4 or 3 additional cards plus my actual draw,
yeah,
then there's benefits. So I was like, do you know what? And it triggers my commander. So it's like it's just a win-win, fair. And I want to get the lands out.
Yeah.
I think it's just a great card, actually. I don't play it enough, I'll be honest.
That's understandable.
And then,
I don't even know if I have any of these ones.
No, yeah, I think that's the only one I have.
Nice.
We're going to start the Is It train here. We got Is It Key Rune, 3 colorless. Tap for a blue and a red, or blue and a red until end of turn. Is It Key Rune becomes a 2/1 red, blue and red elemental artifact creature. Whenever Is It Key Rune deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card.
Yeah.
I really need to read the additional abilities of some of these rocks.
Fair. Then we've got Is It Locket. 3 mana, you can tap for blue or red. Pay 4 hybrid Is It and tap it to sacrifice it and draw 2 cards.
Yeah. Again, I really enjoy the lockets for the card draw and just that it's a 3 mana rock, and it's my speed of games.
Yeah.
I just find that it's fun when you run 9 of them.
Yeah.
Because you're really able to even still get it going at really early games.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got some fancy boots. We got the Lightning Greaves, 2 colorless. Equipment. Equipped creature has haste and shroud. Equip 0. Our commander is going to be hated as soon as they see how big our orc army is going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get him some of these fancy boots so he can style and not have anyone hate on him.
Oh, they'll still hate on him.
They're just jealous.
But, yeah, 100%. Then we've got Mind Stone. 2 mana, you can tap it for colorless, pay 1 and tap it, and sacrifice to draw a card.
And we got still some more Lord of the Rings art as well for this one. And again, I really need to stress, protect the commander. So we have Mithril Coat, 3 colorless. Equipment, Flash, Indestructible. When Mithril Coat enters the battlefield, attach it to a legendary creature you control. Equipped creature has Indestructible. Equip 3.
Yeah, some nice fancy shirts to go with the nice fancy boots.
Right, we've got to just make our guy stylish.
Exactly. Saruman the Stylish.
Yes, okay, new deck name. We have to make it equipment focused deck.
Yeah. Saruman Voltron.
Yes. Okay, no, that's great. We're doing it. I want to make a separate deck list now.
Beautiful. Then we've got Planeteer of Orthanc. 3 mana for legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on Planeteer of Orthanc and scry 2. When target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you will X cards, where X is the number of influence counters. And that player loses life equal to the total mana value of those cards.
That could be rough.
Mm-hmm.
Could get real rough.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. I like the artwork for it. So I think I pulled 1 or 2 of them, and I instantly wanted to put them in here, or one of them at least.
Yeah.
And
this art's awesome.
Oh, especially foil. It just really pops again. I think the artwork's really good. But do you know what? I think someone mentioned that there was another card that has similar artwork.
Oh,
I did see a post about that one, yeah. So then we'll continue on here. We got Rakdos Key Rune, so 3 colorless. Tap for Rakdos mana. Red and a black. Rakdos Key Rune becomes a 3/1 black and red devil artifact creature with first strike until end of turn.
Yeah.
Might look like we have no creatures. They're all disguised as artifacts.
Then we've got the Rakdos Locket, 3 mana, tap for black or red, pay 4 hybrid Rakdos, and sacrifice to draw 2.
This next one I actually pulled before I opened up the precon, and I thought this was really neat.
Ooh,
and I feel they need to make some other ones for different colors. So we have Relic of Sauron, 4 colorless. Add 2 mana in any combination of black, red, blue. Pay 3 and tap, draw 2 cards, then discard a card.
Yeah, this one's really neat.
I would love other colors. Give us more expensive mana rocks that benefit, though. Not.
Yeah, I would definitely play this at 4 mana.
Give me like Selesnya and red.
Yeah.
Whatever that color combination is.
Cabaretti or Naya?
Naya? I think it's Naya. Cabaretti, I think, has black in it.
Oh, okay. Then we've got some cards I am very happy are getting reprinted.
Same.
We've got Ruby Medallion. 2 mana, red spells you cast cost 1 less.
I want so many of them. I at least want 2 of each color. Just saying.
Definitely.
But they've been sitting at a dumb price point. What, like $40? $50-ish?
The cheapest version of the Ruby Medallion is the Commander Anthology version, which is $30 US.
Yeah.
Coming from Card Kingdom.
Yeah, so really definitely needed a reprint. So I was really happy about that. And it's only 2 mana. It's 2 colorless. I think that's a wonderful mana rock.
Absolutely.
Or mana or reducer, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm gonna get some...
Especially if you're...
Sorry.
Yeah, no, especially this is a very easy turn 1 play.
Yep.
There's so many things that you can do.
1 Soaring,
which
2 turn, and then turn 2 with 2 mana, and 3 drop spell.
Yeah.
And like we were just saying, makes it easy with turn 1 with the Soul Ring.
Yep.
It's not the fancy art from the Lord of the Rings set from on my list though, which is unfortunate. Soul Ring art is really nice.
Yeah.
And then just to round off our protection, we got some Swiftfoot boots.
More fancy footwear.
Yep, like I mentioned, I need to be able to get like at least one of these on my commander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Then we've got the Talisman of Creativity. 2 mana, tap for colorless, or blue or red, but then it'll deal damage to you.
I want these reprinted. Like a whole bunch. There were some, like in some of the precons, there was a reprint for them, but there wasn't a reprint for all of them.
Yeah, no, it was picking and choosing kind of.
Yeah, so if I really wanted more. So when I first saw in the first precon that I opened, I was like, yeah, let's go. And then I opened them up, I was like, no.
No.
Such a bummer. And surprisingly, I did not expect this card to get to be that amount of money. We got the 1 ring. So 4 colorless, indestructible. When the 1 ring enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each bird encounter on the 1 ring.
Mm-hmm.
Tap it. Put a bird encounter on the 1 ring. Then draw a card for each bird encounter on the 1 ring.
Phenomenal card.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I think I have 2 or 3 of them. So I was really kind of happy to pull them.
Yeah, definitely. Like the version you've got in the deck right now is the cheapest version of it.
Which is surprising. In my mind, as a collector, I would be more going towards the art panel one.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get that whole diorama done.
So again,
But,
I'm very surprised with that one.
yeah.
It was a feel bad moment. I thought I had the one of the other full art ones. So it was like $1,000. I was like, I'm gonna sell it. I was like, done deal. So happy. And then womp womp.
Rounding out our artifact section, we got Worn Power Stone. 3 mana, enters tapped, but can tap for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like I mentioned, I'm really used to ramping in green. So for me is I need to get my cards out, and in my mind the fastest way is through mana rocks.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't want to be running the mana crypts, the mana vaults. I've been beat too fast by those cards in what was supposed to be a fun game. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's okay. I was kind of saying the same thing. Like there's a time and place for Mana Crypt and Mana Vault. That's kind of why I took Crypt out of my Wilson deck. Because that deck can go insanely fast as it is.
You're in green, yeah.
Yeah.
So Kadama's Reach, Cultivate, 3 visits, plus your Emerald Medallion.
Yeah, Emerald Medallion.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jumping down into our enchantments. The first one here is a card I absolutely adore. We got Bitter Blossom, 1 and a black, tribal enchantment fairy. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and put a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying onto the battlefield.
I put this one in today as, to me, this benefits my commander, and it gives me a blocker.
True. You've only got 2 flying creatures in your list, so that definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah, flyers are always a problem.
That's something you mentioned with your Aragorn deck.
Seems to be a constant problem. The next enchantment we have here is Call of the Ring, 1 and a black. At the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. The ring is mine.
Then we've got another card that I absolutely love. City on Fire. 5 in triple red. It's got Convoke, and if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals triple that damage instead.
In all honesty, this card was just reprinted. Or sorry, this card was just reprinted. They should have reprinted it. With maybe like Ministerial on Fire.
That would have been cool.
Right? Like I think they could have, because again, like it's a good card, and you don't see it in the like LGS all too often, or I haven't seen them when I've needed them. So I think that they could have reprinted it, because again, a lot of decks or a lot of commanders are going in that direction. So I think these cards are always needed.
My question with this one, and I kind of got a theory, but why is this card so much cheaper than Fiery Emancipation? Like it does cost 2 mana more, but in decks that you're going to be running it in, you're probably going to have some stuff to cheapen it.
I'm going to just guess that it's the mana value. You can't pay it as fast, or, well, I've seen this one come in super easy for 3 or even for free in Goblins.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is very, very good in Novika.
Yeah. Being able to just tap 8 goblins.
Yeah.
Because they have haste. And then get 8 more goblins.
Yeah, why not?
And then we have Fiery Inscription, which is 2 and a red. When Fiery Inscription enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Fiery Inscription deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Good card.
Yeah, and again, I only have like 17 instants and sorceries, so I should probably actually buff it up or remove Fire Inscription. But again, that's still going to be like 30 damage.
Yeah, exactly. And especially because you've also got Gutter Snipe in here too.
True.
But yeah, next one, In the Darkness Bind Them. 2 blue, black, red for a saga. First, second, and third mode are all create a 3/3 black wraith creature token with menace, and the ring tempts you. And the fourth is for each opponent, gain control of up to one target creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap them, and they gain haste until end of turn. Then the ring tempts you.
Yeah, really. And the ring tempts you. Again, that's just a bonus.
Mm-hmm. And like this card alone is going to get you up to 4.
And that's a $15 card that came in the pre-con. Again, with another $24 dragon.
Yeah, $24 dragon.
So you're at least making half of your money back for what the deck is.
Yeah.
Actually, that's some really good cards in there.
Yeah, that was phenomenal pre-con, it looks like. I might have to pick that one up.
The next one here we have is Mechanized Warfare, which is 1 and 2 red. If a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead.
Nice.
Yep. Just increasing damage.
Yeah.
Doing what red things do.
This next one makes me so proud of you.
Dustin inspired me. I'll be honest. He plays it in every deck, and his version is always a proxy, and he's a huge Batman fan. So the card is called "The City Needs Me."
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But yes, continue.
Omniscience, 7 triple blue. You may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. There's a lot of more expensive cards in this deck, so that definitely, if you're able to get up to that.
There's some really pricey cards.
Yeah. But with your all your mana rocks and stuff, getting to the 10 will not.
Exactly, right? Now we're really seeing why I find being able to run these mana rocks, it does allow you to have those higher cards. I do try to aim for like a 3 CMC though.
Yeah. Well, with lands in this deck, it's 2.31.
Wow.
And without lands, it's 3.52.
Okay, there we go.
Which
I'll play without lands. How do I win? We do have one of the newer cards, Revenge of Ravens, 3 and a black. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Please, token decks, attack me.
Yeah.
Net 0/1 or 0 across the board.
You can't take me out if I take myself out.
No, basically they attack, they're losing the life, I would gain it, but I could just be like, nah, I'll let it go through. No, that could be technically more life. I'm thinking if they're 1/1s. If they're 1/1s, then yeah, I'll just take it all.
Fair.
Anything more than that, we'll have to have a chat.
Have to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, right.
Next up is Rhystic Study. 2 and a blue. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, you may draw a card unless they pay 1.
Every time I see the methodology, yes, I will grab it.
Yep.
It's just too good.
Is this one also getting reprinted in Commander Masters?
I hope so.
That...
As much as I love the card, as much as I want my collection to remain somewhat lucrative, I would love to have more Rhystic Studies and or alternate art of Rhystic Studies. Please, I think you guys can come up with some excellent looking art for it. Like, let's just do this. I want some fancy shiny stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a simple man. Talking about shiny stuff, we have Shiny Impetus. 2 and a red, enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +3/+2 and is goaded. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token.
I like the art on that one.
Right? Smeagol.
Gollum running away from the
Gollum.
goblin.
Smeagol.
Same thing.
I knew him back in the day. But yeah, he's running with the ring away from the goblins. It was mine.
Side note, but I read something about how Gollum got his name.
Oh?
From Smeagol. It's because of the coughing noise. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, yep.
Him saying Gollum.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see it.
And the penultimate enchantment we've got here is Spiteful Banditry. X double red. When it enters the battlefield, deals X damage to each creature, and whenever one or more creatures an opponent or your opponent's control die, you create a treasure token, and it triggers only once each turn.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This card's been a payoff so many times already.
Yeah, I can imagine. So that's really, really awesome.
Yeah. Again, it's just being able to get the treasures to be able to again can continue your turn or play your spells to try to amass.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Storm of Saruman. I have this in foil and I love it. I think it looks so cool.
With the full art?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
For 2 blue, enchantment ward 3. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for the copy. Double creatures.
Who says you only have 12 creatures?
Right? 24. Like, I read it and I had to ask someone. I was like, this just says spells.
Yeah.
It's like, technically my creatures are spells. Do I get a second creature? Thank you. Yes, let's go.
Do you have any lands you wanted to mention?
Yes, I'll let you take the first land in the set.
Sure. First one here is probably the most important land in a deck like this. It is Barad-dûr. It's legendary. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. You can tap it for black, or pay XX black and tap it to amass Orc's X, and activate only if a creature died this turn.
They get rid of your if they get rid of your orc, just make another orc.
Exactly. And I like that it says a creature, or it doesn't say a creature you control die.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So again, we do have our utility lands, such as Reliquary and Rogue's Passage, again, because if we do get Rhystic Study out and we're able to draw, or if we're actually able to get anything such as that we need to get through to get a trigger to proc, Rogue's Passage is great, especially if we want to get that final KO hit in. Again, everyone's going to chump block a 34-34 orc army. It's gonna happen. We either need to clear the board so we can get stuff through, or just use lands. But I have had people, Slothy, target my lands.
What? I would never.
Right? The second to last one, Slothy, please take that new one too.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up a card real quick that I'd like to mention after.
Yeah.
But we've got the Black Gate. It is a legendary land gate. So, 9 Fingers Keen players, there you go.
Right.
As the Black Gate enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't and enters tapped, you can tap it for black, or pay 1 black and tap it. Choose the player with the most life or tied for the most life. Target creature can't be blocked by creatures that player controls this turn. Another very, very good land for this deck.
I love the artwork.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Even if they had a foil version where just the center crease was foiled red, or that orangey color.
Ooh, that'd be beautiful.
I think that would look great.
That would look phenomenal.
So yeah, this is my, and I guess just to mention, like, I do have a mixture of fetch lands and painting lands throughout the deck. The deck price, from what I saw, was sitting around like $550. But I'm pretty sure like you can put in a bunch of budget spells, and it would probably like, because you can get a bunch of budget like top deck manipulation, and you're going to be able to still do fine. You're still going to be amassing orcs. I think the reason that it's the One Ring that's gone up in price.
That, and you do have the $100 version of Blood Crypt in there.
Oh, I have that version of Blood Crypt, yes.
Yeah.
That is a very upset that's $100, but we'll talk about that later.
This deck looks like a lot of fun. It's got a very neat game plan, making a big boy. And yeah, it's kind of cool to see how expensive some of the cards from that precon are now.
Yeah. So when the set first pre-released, the Cavern Horn Dragon went up to, I believe it was about $40. So if you bought the precon, boom, there's a $40 card already. I think it has now balanced itself in the financial world. The set's been out for a few weeks to a month now?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because we went up for June 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think, the precon, it was fun. You do get some really nice reprints and some nice one-off cards that were, they're harder to pull out of the boxes, but you can at least get a copy out of the precons, such as the Cavern Horde Dragon. And the other, Orcish Siege Master and stuff like that. I really enjoyed this deck, and
yeah, me too. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. One card I was going to ask if you thought of for this one is Decanter of Endless Water.
I need so many of them.
It's such a phenomenal card.
Eddie went into Ogre's Den and they were all sold out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they have their Dungeons and Dragons boxes, collector's boxes on for about 200, and I've been I can at least get maybe a foil one.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of a little bit tempted, because I've been, Sherman, my buddy Jesse, gave me a bunch of the clue stones, rune stones. So I've been using a lot of those, because then I know that even if I have basic lands, my artifacts are going to round me out to help keep my curve.
Yeah, true.
So, and I feel like if you're running at least, in a 100-card deck, you're running 10% mana rocks, you're going to be able to get them.
Yeah, definitely.
But I would love Decanters of Endless Water. If people aren't using them and want to send them this way, please.
Please do.
Yes, I'll be Daniel. Please send them my way. Just DM me and we'll work out a deal. But yeah, I'm curious. I really haven't seen anyone else with an orc deck, or the Saruman built with orcs, or kind of the orcish plan. If you built one, please let me know. I'd love to see your deck list, to see the different cards that I could potentially think of putting in. Because you know what? There's so many cards, and there's still so many cards that I haven't seen before yet.
Yeah, true. They're releasing cards daily.
Right. Well, there's even cards in the past that I haven't seen yet. Again, if you think about it, 200 to, say, 600 cards per set back in the day, or per block, or whatever it was, there's still so many cards, when I only started playing, so long into its release.
True, yeah. And I just pulled it up here. Saruman the White Hand has, where'd it go? Has 1,215 decks, according to EDH Rec. 11 of them are classified as orc decks.
That's wow.
Yeah.
I'm probably in that 11, because I'm pretty sure it pulls information from from EDH or Architect, Boxfield, the big ones, I believe.
Yeah, it definitely does.
But yeah, let us know what you would add in. Hit us up on all of our different social medias. So you got Slothy over on Twitter. You can check us out on Instagram. You'll be interacting with myself and Daniel there. We also, if you want to become a member of our community, such as our wonderful patrons, Whipsaw, Strange Ronin, and Thunder Commander Emperor, Command Emperor, you can check out our Patreon. We put up, or you get access to early videos, as well as live recordings of our episodes. Thunder has listened in a few times, so you can get ahead of the game, at least a few days to a week, potentially.
Yeah, it's a super fun community. We're all always in there chatting Magic, chatting other stuff, talking movie recommendations,
right?
Stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Private Discord channels, all that good stuff. As well as if you want to find everything that's ours, you can check out our website, intothe99.com, as well as articles written by Thunder, as well as other like great community members. One of the still my favorite articles on there is the one that's written by Daniel, going over how he labels his power level deck, or like how he labels power levels. That's kind of how I still look at it. I think he has a really good point of view for that. So that's how just one that's always stuck with me.
Maybe we'll link that one down there if we remember.
Yeah, I'll have to see how that goes. But am I missing anything else?
I don't believe so.
No. But if you enjoy the content, please.
Actually, I actually just ordered some the other day. I was telling you about that last night. But Abyss Proxy Shop, we've got a promo code IT99. You can get a little bit off your order on some really awesome, really cool proxies.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah, if you want to get some proxies, check out Abyss Proxy Shop. And I was going to mention, I believe we will be attending we will be at the face-to-face here in September. I believe it's September 29th to October 1st. So if you're in the Calgary area or Alberta, or you're going to be stopping on in, make sure to come and say hello. And I think with that, other than that, if you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, and if you want to do more, check out Patreon or merch store. And with that, guys, I hope you all have a great week.
See you later.
Bye, guys.